Axel, we thought about this and we're ready to purchase a foreclosure. May I ask why you want to purchase a foreclosure? Because it's a great deal. Let's chat about that. For many entry-level real estate buyers, the allure of foreclosure, it's like a gold mine and a road to be a millionaire. In this video, you and I will be delving to the changes of foreclosure, or in other words in BC, court order sale. And these changes from prior to 2020 to 2020 and after 2022. So watch to the end because you want to know what these changes are. Axel Ziba here. I'm a broker in real estate and this is my YouTube channel, Sincere Real Estate Chat, talking about a variety of real estate topics. And if you have a question, your question will turn into these videos. I would certainly appreciate it if you smash that like button. Now the question is, what makes a property into a court order sale or a foreclosure? There are a variety of reasons they can turn a property into a foreclosure or court order sale. But typically a foreclosure is because the original owner that purchased that property has defaulted on their mortgage payments, or in strata cases, it could also be a strata corporation going after that unit owner for non-payment of the strata fees and special levies. And when a property enters a court system, it's called conduct of sale. Let's walk through the process and its various stages. When an owner defaults on their payment, whether it's their mortgage or strata payments or any other things that the lender needs to receive, then the lender or strata can submit a demand letter. As the title of the demand letter says, it's demand for payment, and that is what it is. The next step is petition. If the demand is not working and it didn't work and the owner still defaulted, then those lenders or strata corporation will continue hiring a lawyer, submitting a petition to file a court. Next is order nisi, and in that position, the owner is given a period of typically 6 months to come up and pay their unpaid payments and fulfill the outstanding payments. Judicial sale or order absolute for foreclosure. If order nisi didn't work out or it seems inappropriate in the eyes of court, then the lenders or strata corporation can file a judicial sale, commonly known as court order sale or foreclosure. Alternatively, if the case is really hot, they can pursue order absolute for foreclosure, which removes the owner's name from the property on the title and gives the property to the bank or the lender or the strata corporation following the order for vacate possession. At this stage, the properties become bank owned or lender owned. In other words, there is no court involved, and bank or a lender or strata actually becomes like a regular seller as any other properties. But we're talking about a stage right behind that, and that's court order sale, and that's everybody knows as foreclosure. An interesting fact, in most cases for any other regular properties out there on MLS or listed on the market, the owner who purchased the property is the seller. But in foreclosure properties, the owner is the person that purchased the property, but the seller is the person or the entity or the financial institution that the owner owes money to, and they are the ones selling it. So the listing agent who's listing these sort of properties as foreclosure, they are representing the seller, not the owner. Let's get into the unique aspect of foreclosure process. In court order sale, the lender or the strata corporation assigns a lawyer to hire an agent to proceed with a sale. Now, here is the big difference between British Columbia and the rest of the world. Since everybody, as soon as they hear foreclosure, they hear cha-ching and dollar and a hot smoking deal, this is where the difference comes from. The seller, who's in this case the lender or the financial institution or the strata corporation, has an obligation and mandate to be fair when pricing that property, to show to the court that they are being fair. And to achieve that, they employ a gradual dropping down prices. For instance, if a fair market value for a property is $500,000, they price it at $550,000 and gradually drop in the price to the point that they receive an offer if they don't get an offer on the earlier stages of a price. Now let's get into the buyer side. You're a purchaser and you want to buy a foreclosure. What's the procedure and what you need to do? Well, similar to any other properties, when you see a foreclosure, you grab your agent and you write an offer. You can make your offer conditional to do your due diligence and make it subject to financing or any other subjects. However, in this case, you have to accept Schedule A, which it serves to protect the seller, in this case, the lender or strata corporation. And it's a long, fine print protecting their terms, and it tells you that the property is as is where is. This is a big thing because it washes out their liability and responsibility as a seller toward you. They have no idea what that property state is, so they cannot guarantee the outcome of the sale either. It also gives them a power, even after acceptance of the offer, they can collapse the deal, can take over the liability of the seller, not to include the appliances, shadows, or many other things in the property, and the property will suddenly not be guaranteed in a way of a state that you viewed it to be when you are taking the possession. Since the owner of the property who is defaulting on the payment still occupying that property, trust me, they may leave the property in despair and damage many things prior to them leaving that property as it is taken from them. After removing all your subjects and all your condition, your offer becomes firm and practically you're submitting a deposit to the lawyer representing those lenders or strata corporation. That is absolutely similar to submitting and removing the subjects for any other properties on the market. Now, here's the difference. Right after the acceptance, the lawyer representative will schedule a court date, which typically takes from few weeks to few months in order for a court to approve the offer and its process. This scheduled court date is publicly announced to everybody on MLS, so the interested parties that they want to participate on making an offer on this property, they'll know about the first offer and its price. And this will allow the other interested parties to submit their offer, usually no less than 2 business days prior to the court date, to the lawyer of the lender or strata corporation. It also allows the first original accepted offer to revise their offer within 24 hours in that 2 business day if there are other bidders. Let's chat about the changes prior to 2020, in 2020, and in 2022. Now, prior to 2020, the foreclosure process was after the offer was accepted, the court was scheduled, and everybody that was interested was attending at the court and presenting a sealed offer to the judge in person. In 2020, because of the pandemic, the process became online and non-in-person. And also, submitting the offers were 2 days or no less than 2 business days prior to the court date. In 2022, the in-person came back into its norm, but the 2 business day or no less than 2 business days submission of offers stuck in there. In the court evaluates the offers and select the best offer that there is. To summarize, let's review the drawbacks of investing in foreclosure or going through foreclosure process as cons. When a foreclosure property comes into a market and you wanted to schedule a showing, it has a lack of showability. The owner of the property who's at default does not want to cooperate and does not want to provide a showing to the buyers coming in. Number 2 is property condition, and that makes sense. Imagine an owner going through a default of a payment, they're not going to and they don't care about that property which is being taken away from them. Number 3, is it a deal? It certainly can be, but in most cases it cannot, specifically in BC. So if you're looking for a hot smoking deal, why not looking into every properties out there as long as you put some sweat equity into it? Number 4 is uncertainty. The uncertainty of the process, it can be daunting for many home buyers. The uncertainty, other than the long process of a wait, it can arise from other bidders. In other cases, the owner may show up to the property asking for a mercy to extend the process and have them stay longer in their property, or in other cases, they could easily fulfill their payment and defaults. Number 5, as is, where is for the property condition. Purchasing the foreclosure property means to accept any damages or any outcome from that property. You may have done your inspection, but what you've done at an inspection, if the owner still lives there, by the time you're receiving the property, it might be in despair, as the owners at the possession day may cause some damages and put the property at despair. Number 6 is lengthy approval process. Foreclosure properties can take somewhere from 2 weeks to few months and sometimes even longer. As a buyer, your money, your deposit, and your commitment has to be there until the process is decided. And if there is other opportunities that you want to jump in, you won't be able to. Thanks for watching this video, hoping you enjoyed and got some value from it. And if you have, smash that like button, or better yet, follow my channel as I put these videos out there every week.